Okay. Uh, hey, everybody. Welcome to this first episode of a series of episodes on how to build things on Tarbite, how to build really scalable software using serverless. So first, I'm gonna log in to the Tarbite sandbox here and start building. I'll walk you through every step and explain a number of concepts as we go. Okay, let's start with login. So here I'm gonna put in an email. Right, sorry about this. Give me 3 minutes here. Rebooting my laptop. Something happened here with the streaming software. We'll start in about 3 minutes. Okay, finally back here. Sorry about that. Let's share my screen again, and we'll get going. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna log in. So this will log me in into the Talbyte Sandbox deployment. We're gonna have networks coming up this quarter. You can also spin up your own as well. So I'm gonna create a new project, and that is basically done by clicking on the create project here. So let's call it dFunctions 101. And then you can either leave it like this, and that will create a public repository. If you want the repo to be private, for some reason, you can hit private. So I'm going to leave it public here for future reference. So you can also add the date here, 17. So it's going to create two repos. One for the configuration that defines all the resources that we'll have in our project. That's mainly YAML files. And then the other one is going to be inline code if that's what you want. And it is what we're going to do in this case. Okay, so this is the dashboard. It's pretty easy and straightforward. You have here applications, which will allow you to organize your code into applications or your project into applications, and then different type of resources that we support: functions, library, website storage, messaging databases, domain services, and smart apps. We'll get to each one of those in different episodes because this is only like a 15-minute episode. So we need to focus on one resource, and in our case is functions. So just for the sake of making it or building something that's well organized, I'm gonna still create an application, and I'm gonna call it ping, because that's gonna be the name of our function. So when we click on the application, it's gonna take us to a place where we have all the resources that are also on the left side. So those resources that are going to be created here are going to be relative to the current application, which is ping. If I create another application, let's say ping 2, it will not have access to these resources. But if I create a resource on any of those many items on the left, those are global resources, and that can be shared between different applications. So let me go ahead here and create a function. So here we're gonna create an HTTP function that when we hit it, it will reply with some text. Let's say the text is Pong or anything similar to that. Pretty simple. Next week on Monday, I'm gonna do image processing, so look for that. I'm gonna post the event shortly on LinkedIn and then on Luma as well. So look forward for that. But right now we're gonna just go for a simple D function. And I'm gonna do it with a template. So we created this to make it super easy for anybody to get started. And I'm gonna go for a ping pong function. So this will fill out like a lot of things here. So you can see named the function ping pong. It's an HTTP function. Talbot can support multiple events. Right now we have P2P, PubSub, and HTTP. Gonna add others like cron and others that are in the working. But right now we're gonna focus on HTTP because that's the main event type in serverless and on the internet in general. So you can select here the type of request we're looking at. We're gonna stick to get. Here we're giving it like 10 seconds to execute and 10 megabytes of memory to run. Keep in mind this is WebAssembly, so it doesn't require a lot of memory, and just limiting the amount of memory that it can use, and limiting the amount of time. Okay, sorry about that. Another disconnection here, this time due to my laptop. Let me make sure this time hopefully it doesn't happen again. Let me share my screen here. Okay, so we're back to the project here, kind of actually, minus the fact that whatever I did before was not saved. So I'm gonna go back to applications, create my Ping application, and that has to do with the fact that what's really happening behind the scene here is your Git repo was actually cloned here. Um, and it's living on the browser until you push your code and your changes, nothing's gonna happen. So I'm gonna fast forward here quickly. Like I said, I selected a template, and it was the ping pong template. I kind of like walk through what was going on here. The only thing that is slightly missing is selecting a domain. And here we can just go for a generated domain. Later on, I'll discuss how you can set up your own domain. It's pretty easy and straightforward, but just to keep this simple, we'll stick to using a generated domain. And then I'm gonna hit this little validation button here, and this will create my function. So just going back to, it has everything to do with what happened to me, like my laptop crashed, I had to reboot it, everything was gone, because everything was living on a virtual file system on my browser, or the changes that I made. So what we need to do is actually push it to Git, right? Because our project really is here two repos. One that is my config repo, like I said, and the other one is what we call the inline code repo. So config is what defines the resources, and then code is my code. So I'm gonna push our code here quickly, and you can see here that we created an application called Ping. The config is right here, and then we created a function inside ping pong, and that's the config. So it's a get, it's on HTTPS and on /ping, and that generated domain that will be created for us automatically. All right, so sorry about that. Looks like the gods of demos don't want my laptop to survive this. Um, Unfortunately, looks like I have some issues with my laptop. It's overheating for some reason. It's been going on for a few days. I will. If you don't mind sticking for the next 5 minutes, I will go through the whole process again and finish it quickly, and then we'll post a clean video after that for the event. If you need to hop off and go to your activities, feel free to. We're gonna post the recording after, anyways. Sorry about that. I'll be joining again and finishing the uh, like how to create a dfunction in a minute here. So sorry about that. Gonna share my screen again here and get back to where I stopped in a second. Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen. I'm going to kind of just fast forward through what I did before. Again, need to create an app and then create a function here. And then what we need to do now at this point is just push our changes. Right, so I went through the details in here for the config. For the code, it's basically a function ping pong that has like our little code here, and I'll explain it here quickly. So basically, the function will receive an event. Events could be different type of events. I already explained that. In this case, it's an HTTP event. We know that, so we're going to extract the event and then return Pong or write Pong in the output or return that to the client. And that's it. So I'm going to call it here first commit and push. So the web console here will push to both repos, config, and the other repo, and this will generate a build. So two builds here, one for config and the other one for the code. So give it a little bit here and it will be all built and done. So success on both. You can see here like the ping file, and you can actually look at the logs. You can download the WebAssembly file, but just for the sake of time, let's just go back to our function here and click on this run, which will actually ping that function, and boom, we have our Pong here, right? So it's that easy. I'll go into more details in the next episode on Monday, where I will also show you how to do more interesting stuffs, and in this case, gonna be image process. And sorry for the technical issues. I'll see you on Monday. Bye.